Hey there, happy campers. Today we're going to be doing an unboxing and backyard demo setup of our dispersed camping porta potty slash toilet setup. So we'll be going through all of the individual components that make up the system, as well as just a brief overview of what's necessary in order to get set up and going for a camping weekend. All right, folks. So to start with, we're going to put aside our chemicals, put aside our tent, which we'll be opening up and unboxing next, as well as the light for our tent. To start with, we are going to open up our toilet. Now this is the Dometic 970 series. It's a 5-gallon capacity waste tank with a 2.5 gallon, or 2 1/3 gallon, or 0.3 gallons rather, reserve tank. This particular model was ordered off of Amazon.com. However, you can obtain these or purchase these at pretty much any camping or RV store. I chose the Dometic specifically because it has a pressurized flush feature, which is something that the Thetford model did not have. So here we have our box in and of itself. Not really all that much to the actual toilet. You can see, empty box. Nicely wrapped in plastic. It's a hard plastic toilet. Locking or latching seat cover, which helps keep things clean. Inside the toilet, you can see that we have our freshwater reservoir cap with vent and the cap to the inside emptying for your black water tank or your sewage tank, as well as a set of instructions for this entire series, the 970 as well as the 972 as well as the 975. Really the major difference between these is overall black water capacity. Pop this open and take off our cap, fresh water, and just put that on. Now you can see the way that this particular model operates is very similar to pretty much any other type of camp toilet like this. You have a pull-out lever which opens up a flap into your black water tank, and that's where the waste goes, as well as the water when you flush it. Best practice is when you sit down on the toilet, wait until then to then pull this lever out. And then you don't really want to flush these while you're sitting on them unless you enjoy getting a little bit of splashback. So you'd want to sit down once you are done, get up, cover the lid, pressurize your flush tank using this pump valve right here, and then we just push this button, and that's how it flushes the toilet. Then you close this valve. Very simple. Really, really easy to use. Now, to dismantle, to take it apart in order to access the black water tank, there's a little unlock valve right there. And then the toilet assembly, seat assembly, comes right off. Inside, we have our emptying neck, the cap of which I showed you, which was inside the toilet tank for storage on its way here for transport. And then we have a vent assembly, clearly labeled, says open or closed. Shipped open. You want to close it obviously before you assemble your toilet. The same thing goes with returning the dump neck back to its position. And you want to follow the arrow, make sure that you have this set to closed before you cover it back up. Slide that on. And there we go. Now, before your initial use, you want to drop one of these, which is a packet style or sachet style drop-in for your tank treatment. And what this will do is make sure everything kind of gets properly liquefied, breaks down your paper as well as waste to make dumping easier and less messy, as well as clean out of the black water tank. Once you return, if you're doing dispersed camping, once you return to your home, to be able to then clean it out properly. And then you also want to add a cleaner to your tank, and this works in conjunction with the packets, so that this way you end up cleaning the bowl on every flush, and it also keeps foul odors and things like that from coming out of your toilet porta potty. Put this down. Next, we have the Stansport Cabana privacy shelter. And this is just a basic self-supporting version of the types of pop-up porta potty shelters that you see commonly advertised on Amazon and other sites like that, and in camping stores. No instructions or anything in the box. You can see it's just a regular nylon sleeve. I'm going to be leaving this out of the packet to show you all how it's set up later on. Remove these. And it's just a basic tent setup. If you've set up a regular conventional tent, then you know how this looks. You have your guy lines and stakes inside of a small bag. You have your pole assemblies. And then you've got a rain fly and the tent itself. Instructions for assembly are on the package itself, but it's pretty self-explanatory. If you've set up another type of tent, then you should have no problem setting this up. There's additionally a parts list, as well as step-by-step instructions for how to set the cabana up. We'll leave those out for later on. Now we'll get to the last item that we'll be unboxing, and this is the LightMe solar panel equipped. Although you'll see once I open it up what the solar panel looks like. I think most likely it's going to be being charged by a USB off of my RV. Now this is a small light bulb style LED fixture. It has an integral hook, push button switch on top to turn it on and off, as well as a micro USB port for charging. In the box you get this solar panel, which appears to be a flexible polycrystalline array that is on a piece of plastic or paper backed with a double-sided tape with a small tail that is terminated in a micro USB adapter. And the idea is this is how you would charge this solar light. And that's our unboxing portion. Stick around and we will do a backyard setup, and you can see how this all goes together. All right, so ready to start setting up our porta potty setup. Got my hammer right here for hammering in our stakes, and the ever important instructions. Now, one thing it's very important to note is that in the instructions it's stated on the top of each page, do not use excessive force during any part of setup. So just remember to be careful while you're setting it up. Basic instructions, you're just setting up the overall support structure first, as with any other normal type of fiberglass pole tent. It does depict it using two people, but I've set up multiple regular fiberglass shock-corded pole-supported tents just as a single person, so I don't really see this being necessary, although it always makes it easier. Now, inside the Cabana, there's a pocket for you to be able to put toiletries or like toilet paper, as well as hand sanitizer. At least that's where I would store it. What you may also want to do is put a small stool or a bucket inside with your toilet paper sitting on top of that to make it accessible within reach. And that's basically it for the overall setup. So we have a freestanding porta potty structure for dispersed camping or current conditions where you need to be moderately self-contained. I would check at each campground if you're looking to go to a private or public campground that's allowing RVs currently, but not tent campers. Be sure to confirm directly before you arrive that something like this will be suitable, because not all campgrounds consider this to be self-contained, while others may. And there you have it.